Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the eSeniors GT3 World Championship. My God, can't even talk anymore. Welcome to round 13. There you have it.
Get it together.
Get it together. We're getting it together, brother. Here we are with Mr. Jonathan Wood. There you have him at the top. I don't know why. Again, Discord doesn't want to work, and we see him a little frozen, but still, we see him live. There you have him. There you go. Mr. Wood, how are we? Round 13. Zolder, Group 2. What is going to happen?
Yeah, man. I don't know, mate. It's going to be exciting, though. Whatever happens, we've had some brilliant races all week. We've had flying cars. We've had hovering cars over lakes. We've had crashing cars. We've had winners. And so this is going to be a good one.
Oh, you are damn right. What we're going to do right now, you can see the schedule. We're going to jump directly into the standings. And then even quicker, we're going to go into live because these gentlemen are ready to rock and roll. There you have it. It's Strobich leading the pack with none other than Mark Pocock taking P2. Jeremy Arrobas, who's not going to be able to participate today due to health issues. We wish him the best. Surely we'll see him in chat. Of course, we'll see him as well here. Maybe if he wants to join, if he feels comfortable with it. But still, we wish you the best. Then Ellis and Garland for the top 5. Christopher has really dropped down. And Mr. Wood, I think we need to jump directly into action because the qualifying is going right now. So let's just do that.
Alrighty.
So, there you have every single driver. Another patch from Kuno Simulazione. And let me tell you, it has changed the whole simulator. It really has, hasn't it?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's changed so much. Most of it, I think, is in a tire model, and hopefully in the physics. Hopefully the physics have made it a little bit easier, actually. So we'll talk about that a bit later. But let's follow somebody. Let's see who is getting close to the end of the lap, or just about to start a lap. Let's have a look here.
Lee Ellis looks like it's gonna end it soon. Definitely.
Lee, where's Lee?
I'm
trying to find him on my.
He's trying to heat up those tires. Here. We were talking about the tire model. There you see him. He's trying to get it as warm as possible. Here we go.
All right, so Lee Ellis, he's going down that pit straight, and he's having that. Please do. I apologize already for the corner names, but this first corner, Erst, he's going to go down into second or third. He really wants to look for the apex. He's made a mistake, but no worries. He's still got 16 minutes left, and this next right-hander is Sterrenwacht Bocht, and then the Canal Bocht. And you can see the canal is actually on the left-hand side there. Then we're going to go into this fast right-hander, which is normally fourth gear or third or fourth. He's taking third gear to get a better launch out of the Lucian Bianchi Bocht. And then we go down into that Kleiner chicane, which, you know, you can't get away with very much during the race because, you know, it's so easy to spin. But when it comes to the qualifying, you've really got to kind of try and buy off as much as possible. Then we come down through Butte into the Villeneuve chicane. Of course, this track is famous, infamous really, for that awful loss and that day in May in 1982. We come back up to Termalenbocht, and then all the way down into the Jochen Rindt Bocht. Obviously, Jochen Rindt, a very famous Belgian. And this is a hairpin, and you see the guy in front has gone off a little, so we've been delayed somewhat, but I think that Mr. Ellis isn't going to worry too much because he's going to want to do a few other good laps as we come into this final chicane, the Jackie X Bocht, and then back onto the home straight. And I hope nobody was too insulted by my bochts. So many bochts on one.
a lot of bochts. Let me tell you that. But also what I can tell you is you can see how Ellis was struggling so much with the car. So many corrections just for it to keep it straight. You can see the tires have been a massive change, and people really need to get used to it. Here we have Christopher is going to put himself on P9. Right now, taking the lead is Mr. Laszlo Nemeth. We saw a very good performance from him last time around. This time, there you have him. Lexus at the top, and we need to talk. How about the new edition?
Let's talk about a few key issues here before we actually get too deep into qualifying. So obviously we've had this update, and everyone is very, very well aware that all of the GT3 cars have lost a good second and a half since the update. However, there is a car that is new, which is not affected, obviously, because it wasn't around before, which is that new BMW M4 Gt3. And you've got a couple of drivers who are in this car, which is an anomaly. It is faster than all of the other cars. I have no doubt. I jumped in it and was instantly faster than my normal Lamborghini. And you can see Peter LaFrance, who I believe he's normally in. Is he normally in a Porsche one?
If I'm not mistaken,
I think Peter's normally in a Porsche. He's now in the BMW, and you can see he's in the top 3 here. And I fully expect him to stay there or thereabouts. I expect him to be easily in the top 10 at least, perhaps in the top 6. But it's just very, very interesting because we've got a new car, and it's definitely an anomaly, something that they're going to have to bop on the head in the coming week, and I'm sure they're going to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure a hot fix will come soon. As you know, Kunos edited a little bit of the VOP for every single car, but the changes haven't been very very
well received.
Yeah, not
They've
very well
been
received.
No one wants to go slower, right? I want to go faster. I don't want to go slower. I want to be beating all my lap times. I had this thing going for the last year. I've been trying to get into the 147s at Monza, and now I know that's never going to happen, so that's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. But also, what I wanted to say is that the BOP hasn't affected most of the cars, but as you said, the BMW, I think there's only one word to describe it, and that is overpowered. My God, what an absolute beast of a car. Even I am fast on that car, for the love of God. So imagine how good the car is. As you said, surely a hot fix will come. Holes is going to put himself on P1 with the 29.5. A very good lap. We're going to go now.
That's an amazing lap, mate. That is a really, really good lap. And that's actually in the McLaren. I've never seen a lap like that in the McLaren, at this circuit. He's almost a half a second ahead. Well, now he's 0.2 ahead of Mr. Mark Christopher. But yeah, Peter LaFrance in that BMW is P4. Also, Michel Benchaya is also taken on the BMW, and I expect him to be well into the top 10. In pre-qualifying, he was top 4, so he's definitely a guy to watch.
Oh yeah, Benchaya finally back on track. We saw him a little absent for the last few weeks, but now back into action, so it's lovely to have him with us. He's now gonna finish his lap, probably gonna put himself on the low 31s. That is gonna be P10, as you said. A great call. An old word to describe BMW, ugly. Okay. Welcome, Mr. Bird, to the stream as well. So Bando Buckley, thank you very much, all of you, for being here. Of course, if you want to support the channel, as always, give us a like, give us a follow. Oh, we got one dislike. I want to know who that person is. I'm going to find out.
That's not right.
That is not right.
We're coming for you.
We're coming for you, baby. But anyway, we have to also talk about how amazing the drivers have been so far with adapting themselves with such a big change, because it's not an easy task to go from the cars we had before to the cars we have now, especially as you said, from the tires. And as you said, I think the change of the physics is going to help the hard, close racing way more. Because as we knew before, once you had a fight with someone and you barely touched each other, one of them was in the wall. Now it's way more manageable, and I think that's going to make us have better racing. What do you think, Mr. Wood?
Yeah, no, I think, look, everyone's whining about it, but with a few exceptions, right? But the fact of the matter is, it's the same for everyone, and we all play this game to death. So we're all on exactly the same playing field. So, whether you like it or not, this is what we have, and it is the same for everyone, so we've got to make the best of it. But we have Terry Trowbridge. He just went over the finish line. He improved by over half a second, and he's gone up to P3. Nice job, Terry.
Great lap. We're going to go now with another man who just finished his lap. That was Garland. Still P11, 1:32.7. I'm going to check out the fastest lap times. There you have him. Laszlo has been showing up big time throughout the week. And, man, I'm really looking forward to see what the Dutchman can do. The Lexus working wonders for him. Right now, he's on his out lap. He's just trying to get those tires warm. Welcome, Mr. Bourne. Welcome, Mr. Tennant. Of course, Jamaica, man. You got to love him. And Bourne, what an incredible race we had on the GT4s. Huh? It was amazing. A lot of action.
Frank, you're not supposed to be commenting in the stream on YouTube. You're supposed to be driving the bloody car, okay? So get back in your car, get back on track. Because you're in P9, you need to make up 1.253 seconds, sir.
Yes, we want you on the top of the cream. Paul Moore, P11, 31.1, good lap. He's going to go back into the pit lane. 8 minutes remaining. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's a full hour of a race with a mandatory pit stop. And Mr. Wood and I were talking about something that was very interesting. And it's that now getting a puncture is way easier, or it feels like so in this track. So, Wood, do you think we're going to see more than one puncture? I'm sure that we're going to see more than one drive-through. That is for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be drive-throughs, there's going to be punctures. The key spots that you're going to pick up a puncture are the two chicanes, right? And so if you do bite off a little bit more than you can chew at either of those chicanes, especially the bottom chicane, the Villeneuve chicane, that's the one where you can actually bite off a heck of a lot of track. But, you know, in doing so, you're going over the sharp bits. And, you know, I've tried over and over again to figure out exactly where those sharp points are. And I just can't. I just don't get it. You know, yesterday, just before the Group 3 race, I went out, I did one single lap. It was a quick lap, but I got punctured straight away. We know in the middle of the race yesterday, there was at least 3 or 4 cars who had to come into the pits to change tires. Stephen Buckley, the guy who finished in P2, he finished the race on a puncture. Was it 1 or was it 3 punctures that you had, Stefan? I don't recall. I remember you saying you had multiple punctures, but you know it's an absolute pain, and the best way is to just stay off of those curbs. But you know, if you're in a battle with someone, you want to make up some time. If you stay off the curbs, guess what happens? It's going to be more difficult to catch the guy in front. So what do? Yeah,
nothing else I can say about that, Mr. Wood. Very good explanation. And these gentlemen on track are really going to need to focus on driving those tires safely to make it till the end. For example, I can recall seeing in the GT4 category, we saw more than one person pitting twice or even 3 times throughout the course of not an hour, but 30 minutes. So that's saying something. And we know how tight this track is. It's not the best track for overtaking, so people are really going to have to work to gain positions of race. I think the qualifying is very important in such a track like this, as we see Lee Ellis taking P8, 130.6. Good luck from the American. We're going to go with
that was a really good lap. He improved by 0.6 of a second. I remember last weekend Lee had a really poor qualifying, and he didn't get why it was so bad. But this is where he normally is. He's normally like inside the top 10. So really good to see that. Hopefully, I've not inflicted the commentator's curse. The commentator's curse was so powerful last week, wasn't it? It really was. It was amazing. I don't know where that came from, but let's see what happens with it today, eh?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Wow, yesterday's race was last week's race was the complete coronation of the commentator's curse. Mr. Ross taking the victory, and unfortunately we don't have him here this week. I'm sure he's watching, so we send him our best wishes. For now, we have on screen my good friend El Messi de la Pista, Daniel Britos. There you have him, fantastic. P19 for him at the moment. He's struggling with the Ferrari quite a bit. Let's see if we can start getting that pace. Juan, hope you're feeling better. By the way, you're over-modulating a bit. Okay. Is it better now? Does it feel better now? I don't know why my microphone changes its settings every time I go into a stream. Do I sound good now? Do you hear Mr. Wood well? That's also something.
Yeah, I think you need to speak into the side of your mic, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
otherwise, it goes kind of muffled. I wonder if you could turn your gain up a little.
My gain, okay, we can do that. We can get the gain up a little. I hope you can hear Mr. Wood well. Well, my gain seems to be at maximum, so it should be sounding okay. So please.
Yeah, I mean, you sound fine now. You just need to be eating your microphone, Juan. You need to be that close to it so that we can hear you really, really well. You know, I mean,
you cannot say these things on stream, my friend, because then all.
What, eating your microphone? You could. There's nothing wrong with me saying to eat your microphone. You're good, man. You're good.
There's only linear in the stream, you know. I'm worried. I'm scared.
So I'm going through the entire pit lane, and almost everyone is in the pits. So we got Terry Trowbridge. He's just about to finish a warm-up lap, I believe, and he needs to gain almost 0.3 of a second in order to take pole position, which is still Danny Holt's 129.587. So I'm going to ride here. Let's ride with Terry. Let's see what he can do. He's coming across the finish line right now, going into turn 1. Really needs to, he's got the apex. You want to get on the power as early as possible as he comes down to that second turn. And once again, you want to try and carry as much speed as possible and get on the gas early so that you can go through this corner flat out. Going to change down his brake and change down for this right-hander. And once again, get back on that power. I take this in the BMW just in 4th gear, and I seem to get much better speed down the straight. Let's see what he does at the first chicane, see if he can bite off a little bit here and get on the power. Now, he's just kept it safe, and as a result, he's 0.6 down on his fast time. That's unfortunate, but you know, qualifying, you need to take risks. You just do. Yeah. And with this track, if you take those risks, it's going to be a huge benefit.
Indeed.
But of course, it'll just cause death in the race.
Yeah, I think this is the only place where you can start risking and pushing the limits, both of the car and the track. I think we should go now with the man holding P2. That is Mark Christopher. Unfortunately, already has lost 0.3 of a second in just the 3 first corners. But we have something important to say. Look at the livery. Mr. Christopher is on, you know, he has. What does he have, Mr. Wood? I think he has something very important.
Yeah, he has the PWS cleaning equipment livery. He's our official car for our official sponsor today. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it, man. What can you tell us about PWS? You said they have cleaning equipment. Where can they go to buy these products?
Well, they can go online, of course, to preciouswashers.co.uk. And they've got a ton of amazing professional washing equipment there, so definitely check it out.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Mr. Wood, very good commercial. I love it. Thank you for broadcasting. Thank you for watching. We love you all, guys. We're a little cold. Well, Mr. Wood isn't cold. This man has short sleeves. I don't even know. It's crazy. I'm colder than...
It's a beautiful day out, mate. What's wrong with you? It's a good 70 degrees out today. It'll be 75 at the beach.
Oh,
you know, might go down there, have a few mimosas, maybe a beer, bring some
maybe a little food.
It's gonna be a good day. So Mark Christopher now, he's on another lap, and he's let's see, he's in turn 3 right now. He's lost a little bit of time.
Yeah, he doesn't look.
As he goes into turn 4,
and
he's the same as he was on his fast lap. He's tinkering with getting in the green as he comes down to that first chicane. Just got to really go over those curbs, mate.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he took them a little bit too much, if anything, and he's almost a 10th down on his best time. He wants to go a little bit deeper on the brakes. Bite off. You got to bite off more than that, Mark, in order to get the time. That's for sure, you know. So now he's down by 1/4 of a second.
There you have him.
And I don't think he's going to improve his time, unfortunately, in this road.
Unless he makes the perfect third sector.
Yep, and this will be his last lap, actually.
He has aborted the lap. The qualified has ended, ladies and gentlemen. There is no one improving on track. And look at the man who is holding the pole position. That is Danny Holz, the German, with a 29.587. He's going to be the man running everything long. This is going to be the man setting the pace, and we're going to go directly into the grid in just a few seconds. Great qualifying so far. We've seen top 18 on 2 seconds, like top 17. Like you can see, the qualifying wise, the pace is very similar. It all's going to come down once we go into the race, because a single move can cause the big one.
Absolutely, and just a couple of things of note here. So that Danny, he's done a time which it's going to be interesting to see what that time will do in the Group 1 race tomorrow for the grid, and I'm almost confident that it would actually put him easily in the top 10. A couple of other things of note here. Peter LaFrance in the BM is P5, which is a brilliant result, and also Michel Benchaya is P8 in the other BMW.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to go for a little bit of a grid walk. So we're going to do that quickly as we're getting the cameras ready. There you have them. Perfect. There you have the first line. Is going to be Holz setting the pace. Then Mark Christopher just side by side that PWS beautiful car. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want some cleaning equipment, preciouswashers.co.uk. Then Trowbridge and Nemeth, P3 and P4 respectively. You can see already the rubber on the track. Then we have Mr. LaFrance and Mark Pocock. He really needs to get a good performance on this race because we're only 3 rounds left if we don't count this one. Then we have Mr. Lindner, P7. Great qualifying for the Aussie. And Benchaya with also a very good qualifying. That BMW working wonders for him. Then P9 and P10, Mr. Lee Ellis, the American, of course, Jamaica, Frank Tenen, there you have him, P10. P11 is going to be for Jamie Goddard. And then, just side by side, Richard Colombo. Good performance so far from the qualifying session. Then Terry Howard, we're not used to seeing this man this far back on the qualifying. He's going to be taking P13. And just side by side is going to be Mr. Paul Moore. Then we have Bruce Hopkins on P15. Howells, also a man we're not used to seeing that far back up at the grid. But we have to be honest, the Ferrari is not the best car for this track. P16. Tholen and Britos 17 and 18th. And then we have Mr. Garland and James Parks to finish off the grid. So
it must be said, the very handsome Melvin Garland.
That is true. That and nothing but handsomeness and preciousness, because this man, incredible. I love him. I'm at the back of the grid in ghost modes. Lovely, Robert. We miss you, mate. We miss you. Be sure of that. But, damn, that sounded very Texan, didn't it? But, 30 seconds remaining.
It did sound very Texan.
Hurry
you wearing a hat?
I'm learning. Holz is going to
get
be
off
the one
your horse and drink your milk.
I got your horse, get a little bit of beer, and get ready to rock and roll. Guess it's going to start right now. Holz is going to be the one setting the pace. 10 seconds remaining. The tires are going to be completely cold, so be sure that we're going to have some pandemonium. Have fun, guys. Time to me to go and mix it up. Good luck, Mr. Tannans, and Racer fingers crossed for a clean start. We'll see. But all I can say is one single move is going to cost more than 10 cars to go flying all over the place. Holz is going to be the one leading the pack for at least the first corner. Here you have him, Mr. Holz. Very good camera shot that we have right here. You can see how much he's moving to get those tires ready.
He's made a mistake. Yeah. He's way too far
ahead.
forward.
He nearly broke. Careful, because this might be a penalty.
Yeah,
It's a green.
and
It's very slow, and everyone's going to pass him. He went too confident there, and it didn't work. That is Christopher on P1 already himself. Mr. Hose has got himself a drive-through for going too fast. He tried to heat up the tires too much, and it didn't work out, brother. There you have him. Too wide between himself and Benchaya. He has already dropped 6 positions. And you can see that's going to be another one. Look at that. That is the move from Mr. Mark Pocock. He tried to move on the inside on Mr. LaFrance, but it's not going to work right now. He finds himself on a sandwich of BMWs because that has been Shia behind. And then LaFrance in front. Is Pocock going to try something out? He's not. Oh, my God. No. Was that close?
Got away with it.
I don't even know how everyone came alive out of that. But it did work out. And no one has been hurt in the process. There you have Mr. Nemeth P3. Christopher already with a second of a gap. Trowbridge has claimed P2. We have a yellow flag already. And that is Goddard. We're going to check what happened to Mr. Hemi Goddard. Oh, you can see he had a little bit of an incident. Ooh, that region, for the love of God. And a little bit of Neko to finish it off. Because he went straight. Good Lord. That car.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a little toasty. We need to go now back into the lead because Nemeth is getting closer and closer to Mark Christopher as well as Terry Trowbridge. A 3-man showdown, but for now that looks like a great exit from Mr. Nemeth, who's going to have a shot at the inside. Let's see. Side by side we go towards with the fastest first lap. Oh no, that is going to be Nemeth making contact with Trowbridge. Oh my God, Mr. Wood. 2 unfortunate incidents so far.
Yeah, I mean, the steward's going to want to look at that for sure. But hey, you know what? It's given Mark Christopher, who is the leading car now. This is our PWS cleaning equipment car, currently in P1, which is absolutely brilliant, right? And he's got almost a second off on the second car coming in here. So we've got a Laszlo in P2. We've got Peter LaFrance in that BMW in P3. He is definitely somebody to watch. And Michel Benchaya is right behind Mark Pocock in 5th place. So it's all to play for. Oh my goodness! So there was Laszlo going over the second chicane. Got to be so careful.
Yeah, maybe now it's LaFrance, the man who has a chance. We told you about how powerful that BMW car is. Still not going to be able to make the move. Well, you can see the BMW, all of them moving up the grid very quickly. Very good start from both LaFrance and Benchaya. Goddard already with a 30-second stop and go penalty. I think that was speeding in the pit lane. He had to pit after that incident. And that is just going to cost him so much time. That's something we do not want to see. And good Lord Almighty, 31.6, the fastest lap time so far. Let's see, because now it was Benchaya, the man who has put in the mark there. He has done none other than a 31.3. Very good lap from the Canadian. But Mr. Wood, apart from those 2 incidents, everything else has been pretty safe. And I'm sorry to say, but we're already starting to see some gaps.
We are, but you know, it's worth actually talking about what just happened at the start, because something very similar happened at the beginning of the GT4 race. If you remember, the front row there I was in P2 and Neil Bywater had the pole position, and he just went a little bit too far forward, and in doing so was slightly out of the box. He didn't get a penalty, but it meant when he took the green light, he lost time, and I was able to take the lead. And obviously this time around, it was really extreme, but he got way out of the box, unfortunately, which meant that Mark was able to just absolutely blast past. Not only that, but you know, pretty much the top 7 or 8 but went by as well. We've got a great little battle going on here with Terry Trowbridge and Michel Benchaya. Michel went off ever so slightly and lost some time, and so it's given Terry like the opportunity to close up. He's really close behind, and both of these guys, you know, I'm just going to say they're very exciting drivers. You know, we tend to get incidents when there's exciting drivers. You know, they're very passionate. They both want to be ahead. So this is going to be a very interesting and exciting battle. But it's great to see Michel up there this early in the race in P5 in that new car.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think what Pitbit said.
And
But
here goes
before,
Terry.
look at that, the
He's
inside, side by side.
They need to give each other room.
Contact.
Oh,
And
man.
Trowbridge is going to be the one finishing up on the wall. You said it. Exciting
Yep.
sometimes means danger. And unfortunately, Trowbridge is in the wall. I don't think he has too much damage. We're going to go into a cockpit view to see if at least the steering feels okay. It looks a little off just by a degree or two. Not too much.
And you know, that looked to me like a Trowbridge issue more than a Michelle issue. Michelle was keeping the line, and Terry, he just maybe understeered out into Michelle, but he was the guy behind. That was unfortunate, especially this early in the race.
I have to agree with you. Oh, yeah. Trowbridge again out. Look at that. They were going side by side through the second chicane. 3 contacts in a row, and the 4th one was the one that finished him off. Trowbridge has been able to correct it, but now he finds himself on P14. Yeah. Look at this fight on the back as well. A lot of cars together, packed up in the middle part of the grid. Howard right now trying to get the best of Bruce Hopkins. Let's see if the Porsche can make it happen. We know the Porsche can break way later. He's not going to try it on the inside, but we're going to have to move directly into the top 3 positions, because look at how tight these 4 gentlemen are, because right now Mr. Pocock is joining the equation, and that is a great exit for La France. Let's see if we can make it happen, because maybe he can have a shot at Nemeth after this turn 4. Let's see the line very tight from Mr. La France. He had to slow down a little bit, so it's not gonna be able to happen. But this is beautiful.
And that last incident with Terry at the second chicane almost seemed like karma, unfortunately, because, you know, when he had that slight contact with Michelle, which, you know, I mean, I'll point my finger at him with that one, but then later on in the lap, he got rear-ended going into the second chicane, unfortunately. So, hey, it is what it is, but it's a long race, so there's still plenty to play for here, though.
Indeed, and look at, talking about playing, look at these 3 gentlemen, Howard, Lillard, and Hopkins going at it side by side. It's going to be Howard and Lillard going at it. Oh, look at that. Shy. Hell no. That is a move from Steve Howells. Very aggressive, knowing he could put the car inside. It caught Mr. Lillard off track and basically made the move no problem. Welcome, Mr. Peterson, to the stream. Are we all doing fine tonight? I really hope every single one of you are. Oh, Lillard out of the track. Bring a little too late. The fight's going to dissipate, but we have Mr. La France. Is he going to try the inside? He is not. You can see the different lines through turn 1 from the top 3 drivers. But La France is really getting the better out of it. You can see how fast he is, both on the straights and on the corners. That BMW is working wonders for the Canadian.
Yeah, and you know that BM is amazing on turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what he wants to be doing is looking at a slightly different line than the car in front so that he can get better drive. You know, it's you just got to be looking at the car in front and just trying to figure out where the extra grip is, because, you know, racecraft-wise, that's going to be the way for him to get by without trying to do it into one of these chicanes, which is the danger zone.
Indeed, you can see how close La France is getting, how much he can cut those curves. The BMW being very good at that. Ooh, that looked like a little bit of a mistake from Nemeth's side. He was able to correct it, so he's going to keep on going. Right now, it's Mr. Danny Holes being the fastest on track, and I wanted to point out something that, if I'm not mistaken, it was Pitbits who said it. I think Danny Holes thought there was a full lap. I need to cut it off, because look at Mark Christopher is going to have to defend from Nemeth. He was able to do so. I think we're going to leave that conversation for a little later, because look at how tight these 3 gentlemen are. Polka chasing behind, just waiting for the mistake, waiting for the incident. For now, it's not looking like anything is going to happen, but we really need to check on that BMW, because we know the speed he can get. And here we go, turn 2, very aggressive for La France, carrying a lot of speed, but still not going to be enough. Jeremy is not racing because he is sick, and I want to go back into the point Mr. Pitbits proposed. I think Danny Holes thought there was a full formation lap, and that's why he went that fast. He found that it wasn't, and then he broke a little too late. Really unfortunate, because his qualifying lap was absolutely spotless. So
Is this his first race with us?
I think so.
I'm not sure. I
I'm
mean,
not
if
completely
it
sure.
is, then that would be unfortunate.
Indeed.
But hey, look, it's given us a race, right? We've got a race for the top 4 positions, which is like, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen here. It looks like Mark Pocock. We've got 2 Marks in the top 4, but Mark Pocock, I think he's just kind of waiting around, a little bit further back to see what goes on with these top 3. And here you've got Laszlo. He's got a run now on Mark Christopher. He's going to try to take the outside. Mark has taken the defensive line going into the chicane, which is going to give him poor drive out of it. So let's see what Laszlo can do. Laszlo, he actually didn't get a very good exit, and now the P2, 3, and 4. It's like they're so close.
You can see Pocock trying to show the nose. It's been incredible here in the top 4 positions, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing but amazing drive from these 4 gentlemen. They're defending as much as they can. Pocock, I think, is being the most patient because he's just waiting for the mistake. Oh, that's a very good run for LaFrance. LaFrance might try the inside here on turn 4. He has the nose. He's going to try to keep the line very, very tight between these 2 gentlemen. I think LaFrance might have the speed to show the inside on the first chicane of the track. He's not. He's going to have to keep it safe. Pocock really
he has the
close
speed.
now.
He just needs to be smart with it. He really does. He has the speed at certain parts of the track. He's not going to be able to take him in the middle of the corner and those fast corners. He needs to be able to take him on the exit, get some really good traction, get on the power earlier than Laszlo. That's going to be the key.
Indeed, my friend. That is exactly what I wanted to say. So thank you very much. We're going to jump now a little further up the back. That is Terry George trying to get Steve Howells. Howells made the move at the end. George now needs to do a very good comeback drive. I'm sure he will be looking for an early pit. Of course, the pit window is going to open in 7 minutes and 50 seconds. We're going to go now with Ollie Lindner. As you can see, it's a little bit on lost ground. P15, he has lost massively from the start. From P7 to P15, we're going to have to jump directly into the front because, again, everyone's getting closer. That's Mark Christopher making a mistake, and that is P3, maybe P4. Let's see, is Pocock gonna try the move? He tried it for a second, but he had to correct. Now he seems like he has the speed. Can Christopher defend it? We'll see. Pocock playing it very safe, breaking a little later side by side. Pocock is gonna have to back down, and now is Nemeth on the lead. Let's see if LaFrance can take advantage of this and finally make the move. Mistake from Christopher. You can see people in the chat were saying that he was saving his tires. I think he overshot that corner. Unfortunately, gonna lose 2 positions.
It looked like he outbraked himself just a little bit going into turn 1. We've seen it happen over and over again this entire week,
Yeah, and I think the most important moments in this race are going to be the pit stops, to be honest with you. We have Mr. James Park being really, really slow on track. We're going to go with Lindner because he's now getting very, very, very close to Daniel Britos, el Messi de la pista. There you have him, P14. He's tried his best. Oh, so close racing here and there. It's very beautiful to see. The constructors, unfortunately, wasn't as close as this. But today we're having a fantastic race. We need to go now with Trowbridge. Nemeth now the fastest lap time on the race is a 1:32. Let's see with Trowbridge. He's really getting closer to Howells, but again, we've said it before and we'll say it again.
Mark Christopher off again. He went off again ever so slightly on the first turn, and Mark Pocock is really right on his tailpipes.
You can see Pocock a lot of speed, but he's not being able to make the move, and that's what we're saying, And these tires, if they're pushing this hard, they're not going to hold up too much. Because, of course, keep in mind where we are. Oh, Pocock! Good Lord Almighty,
avoiding action. He had to take serious avoiding action there, otherwise he'd have gone straight into the back of him.
There you have the immediate replay. Oh my God, that was so close to death. Trowbridge is going side by side with Mr. Howells. At the end, it's going to be finally Trowbridge back into P12. Now Hopkins is fighting with Paul Moore. We saw Moore being involved in an incident with Trowbridge before. He's still holding.
Thank God for good netcode, eh?
Everything is working perfectly this race, so hey, I'm all in. The gaps in the front are now getting a little bigger. We're going to check on all of the positions. There you have him. It's Laszlo Nemeth taking P1. Then just behind is Peter LaFrance. Christopher on P3 after that is taking turn 1. Oka behind. And then Michel Benchada, who's doing fantastic so far. Let's see if he can hold this space until the end. But for now, we're going to go with a Leniner, who's trying to get the best out of the Argentinian. Robert, go to your room. Yeah, Robert is doing a fantastic race as well. And also something I would like to say is that what Stefan Buckley said is a very good point. The tires are getting flat spots, and that's undeniable. So they really need to take care, because if not, they're not even going to last 30 minutes if they keep pushing like this. Because we've seen a lot of lockups. It might not show up.
It's a shame that we can't see who when somebody gets a flat tire, because you've got to be 100% sure exactly what Stefan is saying, that there's multiple drivers out there who currently probably have they're losing pressure and they've got punctures, but we just can't see that, unfortunately. And here goes Ollie trying to get inside Danny, and he didn't quite make it. Had to take avoiding action, but he's got really, really good traction going down to that second chicane, which is very, very difficult to pass anyone without having a major accident, of course. Mm-hmm. So, and he backs out of it.
We saw before, but still carrying a lot of speed. Let me tell you, we're going to go now with Mr. Trowbridge and Howard still going at it. You can see that now Trowbridge has gotten rid of Steve Howells. Now the pack of 3 looking good for P10, with Trowbridge being the one at the back. We'll see how this develops. But now the gaps are starting to open. We're having some fights here in the middle of the pack. I would have raced, but the races I did last week sent my SA down 8 points. Ooh, that is not good. My test last night, my front right went to 25.9. My God. Those pressures. Jesus Christ. That is not good. And as we said, like the pressure starts constantly changing so much. As we see Trowbridge with a very good run. That is going to be a clean cut move from the British man. And it's going to be back in P11. So, comeback story activated. And let's see what he can do.
Yeah, Terry got a really, really good drive out of turn 4. And he got on the gas a little bit earlier. And he had tremendous speed going down the straight and just like blasted by Terry as if he had DRS or something. That was cool.
Oh, my lovely DRS. And now that everything is coming down a little bit, I want to talk to you about something. Well, wait, for a second, I was going to stop because I was hooped over.
I was going to say, should I be afraid?
Yeah. But, okay, we need to talk about this because Danny Holz is now catching this pack 3 for P14. We have seen he has the pace to be at the top. Hello, Mr. Margaritis. Look at that. Move on the inside. Ooh, nearly contact. But Holz is going to make the move happen. Guarded now. Nearly side by side with Tholen. He's going to try the inside the Aston Martin. He is not. And I also wanted to talk about how, how every single mistake you make really impacts the way the car is going to drive for the next couple of minutes. Even a tiny lockup is not going to help at all. As you can see there, Gordon really aggressive trying to get the best out of Tholen. Tholen has gone out of the track. So easy move. And Mr. Wood, I wanted to talk to you about this as well, because I do not have this information. Have they also changed the timings on the damage once you go into the pit stop? Because I've seen now the wheel damage is more prone to happen, which is good because that's more realistic. But are the timings bigger now?
I'm not sure. So we were having this conversation yesterday because Stefan had some damage, and we came into the pits for his regular pit stop, and he did have some damage, and I believe he only lost like an extra 10 or 20 seconds. Stefan, like in the chat, tell us like how much time you actually lost, like repairing that damage, because I'm not sure if it's changed at all. To be fair, but I mean, to your point earlier, Juan, you were just talking about how it's really easy with just like a single error to suddenly lose your rhythm. But I mean, with these guys, look, where are we? We're just 20 minutes in, so I don't expect anyone to be like, losing that rhythm. It's normally later on in a race. And if any of you guys watched Krista Hjort's little edit of like, his race, towards the end of the race, he was very open in that, he made a mistake and then he made another mistake, and he totally lost his rhythm and lost a ton of spots or a ton of time before like really gathering it back together. So, I mean, I don't expect anyone to be out of the zone until much later on in a race. I mean, for sure, we're all a little bit older and it's difficult. Here's Mark, and he's trying to give Mark the 2 marks. He's trying to go outside of Mark Christopher. Didn't quite make it.
This is a very important fight. Pocock is going to go for the pit stop. He's not going to even think about it. He's just going in. First lap he can. Britos has been very slow. We're going to check a replay of that. What happened to Mr. Britos? We saw the yellow flag on track. We're going to check what happened between himself and the car who just overtook him, who was Danny Holtz. Let's see. Britos heading into the first chicane. So basically, it was 17 seconds. Uy, Daniel, el piano, Daniel. Ay, Daniel, el piano, enterito. Se lo comió. That rejoin. Ay. Daniel. You need to calm it down, my friend. That was very scary for a second. We already have some gentlemen serving their respective pit stops. Now Trowbridge is trying to get Paul Moore. Still the fight going on. But that's also something we need to take care. Like the rejoins in this track are very tough to judge because there's barely space for 2 cars. You know what I mean? Like it's not something easy. So who do you think is going to make the best strategy out of the pit stop?
Well, let's see here. So we've only have 2 people who have pitted so far. And Peter Lafrance, he came out of the pits and he has a speeding offense. So he's got a 30-second stop and go. His stop and Mark Pocock's stop, clearly Mark had a slightly better stop. He's now right on Peter's tail, but I mean, it's not going to make any difference because he may as well just let him by because he's got that stop and go. That really sucks. That's very, very bad luck. Yeah, easily done.
It is indeed, because he had this done, man. And I also wanted to say that this fight between both Marks could be the decisive point for the whole championship, because we're really close to finish it off. And if now Mr. Christopher, who has dropped down to 5th, keeps on getting bad results, he was, for the whole season, one of the big contenders for the championship, and now he's just dropping down. So he really needs to secure himself a very good result. As we see Pocock, we're taking that Ferrari off guard. That was very scary. I'm sure that was Kurt Brown.
And he's gonna make it with
as well. Oh my God!
Peter needs to just let him go. Let him go, Peter. You're not fighting with him.
You side by side still. Peter's still fighting. Yeah. Peter doesn't want any of this.
I wonder if Peter can see that he has a stop. Yes, he's going in for his stop and go. Okay,
I can see he was trying just to make him lose a little bit of time. But Pocock at the end got rid of both of them. LaFrance is going to serve that stop and go penalty. Still in the lead, Mr. Laszlo Nemeth was going to go for another round just behind Mark Christopher. So the side by side between both Marks. As we were saying, the PWS driver, Mr. Christopher, throughout the whole season has been great. Let's see if in this 4 last rounds he can finish the job and get the championship home. At this point, after the chicane, you can see nothing in your mirrors till the last moments. Had yesterday with Don, saw him last second and tried to leave the race line free for him. as I was saying, it's really, really hard, and especially as you said on the chicanes. I think the worst is the second one, both for time,
Yeah.
for rejoins, and for just keeping track on who's behind you. Because you know, if you do that chicane badly, you're just gonna sacrifice the next two right-handers. So that's something you do not want. And you know, all the drivers are doing fantastic well. And something that really makes me happy is Benshaya right now. He's on the podium, Mr. Wood.
Yeah, he is. He's in P3. He's 9 seconds behind the leader. And that BMW is just like rock solid here. But you know what? And I was saying earlier that, you know, this new car, it's better. It's definitely better here. But I was messing around at Kyalami last night. And you know what? I tried the Lambo, the BMW, and the Porsche, the 991. And you know what? The Porsche was quicker around Kyalami. Significantly.
We'll see, because that's going to be a very important factor for the last three. I cannot wait to see my good friend, James Sparks, going really slow. He made a little bit of a mistake. Unfortunately, going to lose another position, but I could tell you, mate. First, Bernchayas just went into the pit lane, so that is 10 on P3. I cannot wait to see Mount Panorama, my friend. Oh my God.
Oy. That's always the scary one, isn't it?
James Sparks again, very slow. What is happening to Mr. Parks? He is really struggling now. You can see how slow he is. We're gonna check the cockpit. Is the steering damaged? Nope. Well, it's a little offset. Paul Moore also with a mistake. Yeah, we're starting to see mistakes from the drivers. The pit window is still open by 13 minutes. In rare, also you see too late. When you rejoin and the other car comes full speed, you see nothing. You know, as I said, you have to agree. But Mr. Wood, what an incredible 3 races we have left in front of us. Huh? My God.
Yeah, it's better than Formula 1, isn't it? It's bloody excellent. So.
No, that. Why are you comparing that to the excellence of execution when it comes to sim racing, the eSeniors GT3 World Championship?
I know. Well, you know, it's it's another day in paradise when it comes to eSeniors. It's interesting looking at the chat. You know, Nikos is talking about you know, how difficult it is to you know, if you do have an issue on the exit of the chicane, to see what's going on and to see who's coming. So we do have tools to make it easier for you. So, you know, you have your HUD, for example, with the track map. Normally I make sure that my track map is on full, as you see on the screen right now in the stream, so that you can see like a little bit further behind you, because you're right, like that chicane, it's very, very difficult to see what's going on. I mean, there's no way you'll be able to see in your mirror, but if you have the track map up, you can definitely see who's coming. So definitely need to be using all the tools that are available to us so that we can do those safe rejoins.
Well, nothing else I can say. They're completely perfect. We have more people in the pit lane now. Mr. Wood, everyone is serving their pit stops. I want to go with Nemeth, who we have on screen right now. Still P1, 6 seconds of difference between himself and Mark Christopher. Is this going to be the lap where Nemeth decides to go in? Let's see. Anyone following the SSRI 24 hours race as well? As I said before, I wish I could give you some coverage on that. We're going to see Nemeth going for another round. But Christopher, let's see. He's also going for another round. So they're all still hard and strong. Mr. Pearson, if you can give us an update, that would be fantastic. As I said, I wish I could give you some more info throughout the stream. But ACC doesn't let me have 2 instances of the game at the same time. If we could, I would actually give you a dual stream, which, imagine, Mr. Wood, that would be fantastic, huh?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Oh, yo. We need to check a replay of this, for the love of God. Ay. Trowbridge joining the pit lane, and he's going to run Mr. Hopkins down. Ay. Another incident where Trowbridge is either the hunter or the hunted. Ay.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to find words for that one. I wasn't really the hunter. That yeah, I'm a little bit speechless.
Yeah, that's
He's apologizing in the chat. Clearly, obviously, no one does any of these things on purpose. It's all by accident, and it just can really destroy somebody else's race, though. When we have these little accidents that are just unnecessary.
yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm a little speechless as well. That was very, very aggressive. And Mr. Hose already catching up to Steve Howells. Oy, a little off the track for Hose. Nearly went into the wall. But you can see how fast that McLaren is. Pocock now is on P7. And Hose looks like he has the move done here on the last chicane. Is he going to try the inside? He does have the speed. And he is going to stay behind. He's going to keep it safe. Good to see. Yeah, but that is the most stupid pit entry at any track. I do not agree. Paul Ricard, my friends. I think that's the worst by far. That is even worse in my opinion. But Columbo's going to come out. Trowbridge apart from the incident. Stop and go penalty. This man does not be happy with the performance he's putting out. Because it hasn't been his best. Let me tell you, Mr. Wood. Mr. Wood? Wait, I think we have.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm still here. I was on mute because my wife has come home and has opened the garage door. But no, yeah, definitely not obviously not the best of races for Terry. He's obviously he's let it get to him a little bit, and he's just making a few more errors, and that's unfortunate, especially for the championship, right?
Mm-hmm. And knowing that he's on the top, so not the happiest moment for him. Thankfully, he has some drop-off weeks that he can use, but this is not the best image he can show us. Hole still needs to pit. He's P12. He's putting very good laps, but I have bad news for you. He already has pitted twice, and he hasn't served the pit stop. So he's gonna have to pit again. And that's even more time lost. This is very unlucky for Hose. Apart from the start, this is not a good sign. But, one way or another, he's still putting on some very good laps.
And, once again here, if I was Steve Howells, I would just let Danny by. I mean, there's just no point in trying to keep him at bay because he's just going to slow himself down. And Danny clearly is faster, and he's got that pit stop to do. So... Yeah,
what can you say? What can you say? Yeah, that's very fast. Oh, that's very fast from Hose.
He's really good on the brake. That McLaren is really a beast on the braking.
Look at that. We're going to see it again. Let's see, second chicane. Look at how much he's closing, my God. And look at how fast he is through the chicane. Like, you're going to see the time difference between these two gentlemen. But, of course, Hose has to go inside again. Nemeth is the last man in the pits, and he's going there. Ooh, that Ferrari nearly collided with Nemeth on the pits. I think that is Goddard. That was very, very close, and I'm sure Nemeth wouldn't have liked to see that. So now,
they almost came to a stop in the pit lane.
You saw it right there, that it was a Ferrari completely braking, as you said, nearly to a stop. So that implies that Mr. Christopher is going to be taking the lead. We'll see, because if they make a mistake, maybe Mr. Nemeth can still come out on top. Ooh. He has been doing the yeah. Just as I say it, the commentator's curse kicks in. That is not good to see. And let's see if we can finish the lap right now. Nemeth is still stationary. Christopher is going to go through that really slow right-hander and heads into the last chicane. We're going to check again with Nemeth. He is still not moving, but he still has a chance. Let's see, when is the pit stop going to end? Christopher now getting real close. Last corner. Right, and they're doing well. Nemeth is going to come out. Let's see. It's going to be very tight. Let's see if Christopher can get enough speed on this first corner. Nemeth now coming out of the pit stop. It's going to be tight, ladies and gentlemen. There you have in your cameras at the end is going to be Nemeth making it happen. Great pace. Is going to put himself back into P1. There you have it, and that is what you call a clean stint from the Dutchman. Now he needs to finish the job. Self-inflicted boo-boos are the worst. Yeah, indeed. Mr. Wood, what can you say? This man has driven perfectly.
Is that correct, though? Is he only 1.3 seconds behind?
Yes, it is.
He is. So Laszlo lost an absolute ton of time, basically, on that pit stop.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark is like really close behind, and then you've got Mark Pocock another 5 seconds behind, and he's definitely got the speed. And then Frank Tennant in 4th, and then Michel in his Beamer in 5th place, and then you got a 12-second gap before you get to Lee Ellis. So definitely that top 5 is where it's at. But you know what? I still think that we're gonna get punctures, and we're going to have more pit stops. So where are we? The only one who hasn't pitted so far is Danny Holtz. Well, he has pitted, but he hasn't actually shown up as a proper pit stop, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. And he's in P12.
He's not pitting again.
But, and Mark, he just went through the first corner like completely bloody sideways, and he definitely lost time there. He's trying so hard.
He needs to push now. He knows he has the harder tires, so he really needs to get the best out of him. Mr. Pocock, 5 seconds and a half between himself and Mark Christopher. Let's have a Vusa for Terry. I don't know what a Vusa is. Can you tell me, Mr. Wood? Hose! Oh, my lord. That's the 3rd pit stop, and he's going to have to go for a 4th because that has been an infraction of speeding into the pits. My God almighty, can you believe this? Mr. Just as I talk, we have here Mr. Wood and Howells going at it. Good lord, was that close to destruction? As I was saying, Holes is going to have to go into the pit lane for the 4th time this race. We have another yellow. Garland has stopped completely. What has happened? We're going to check a little replay. Nothing happened. He just slowed down, broke, and went into the pit lane. I think that is a retirement for Mr. Garland. Hopefully he is okay. But the very exciting racing so far. But Pocock is not being able to catch up to Mr. Christopher. So we will see if the tires are going to come into play. Mr. Wood. Only 2 minutes remaining from the pit stops. No one else remaining to do them. Who is taking this victory?
You know, I think Laszlo has it in the bag. I've been watching Mark Christopher, and he has been a little bit ragged. He's been making a few little errors here and there. And if there's any one person who is a consistent, like really consistent lap after lap after lap, it's going to be Mark Pocock. So I think it's going to get spicy between the two Marks for sure. But with those two fighting it out, it's just going to give Laszlo, who is faster anyway, an opportunity to pull that lead out. You know, it's now gone out to 2 seconds. It was like just over a second after the pit stops were done. And of course, you know, with those clear laps earlier on, the first half of the race, I mean, he pulled out a pretty good gap, which clearly is going to happen again. So, yeah, my money is currently on Laszlo, with the two Marks dicing it out. Maybe Mr. Mark Pocock getting it. Oh, and he just ran into Mr. Britos, going into the hairpin.
We're going to check this right now. There you have. Oh, big punt.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Danny he's got the blue flags. He's being lapped by Mark, and what happens? He doesn't pull over, and that's just really sad. It's possible they didn't get blue flags yet, but you know, that was another unnecessary shunt, and it's really put Mark 7 seconds behind Mark Christopher.
Yeah. I think that's not going to change too much unless Christopher or Nemeth make a mistake. Welcome, Willie, to the stream. Nice to see you here, mate. Welcome, Billy, as well. Thank you very much to every single one of you. How many people are we on the stream right now? We are 20 people. Guys, hit that like button. I only see 13 likes. You gotta hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see some more action here on the eSeniors. Tomorrow we have the Group 1. Oh my God, Mr. Wood.
Well, you used a word a moment ago. You said that there's a lot of destruction going on, and it kind of jogged my memory. So Enzo Ferrari had a pet name for his driver, Gilles Villeneuve, who obviously, you know, this track is very famous for Gilles for the wrong reasons, but he had a pet name, which was, he called him the Prince of Destruction, because he destroyed his cars so much. He would blow up engines, he would crash the cars, but he was Enzo Ferrari's Prince of Destruction. It was kind of cool, really.
Yeah, definitely. I also wanted to say, can you please look at P18? Another stop and go for Danny Hulls. It started like paradise. It is ending like absolute hell. That is the 5th time this man is going to have to go into the pit lane. I'm sure he's not going to be happy about it. Mr. Robas, as you are saying, he's unfortunately sick. Hopefully he's watching us from his bed, getting rest, and hopefully feeling better soon. We wish him the best. And we have here a little fight between Howells and Moore for P9, because the rest of the positions have bigger gaps. We're going to check the track map so you can see the difference, and we're immediately going to jump to Mr. Nemeth. So you can see that he's getting closer now to car number 66. That's Peter LaFrance. He's getting closer and closer to lap him. And you need to keep that in mind, because we might see some issues with the lapping of the lap cars. We saw with Pocock, it ended up in an incident that neither of them wanted. You can see now the three-man fight. Paul Moore defending from Howells and Hawkins. You can see Howells is showing the nose. Is he going to try the inside here on the chicane? He's not. He's going to keep it safe, get a better exit. That was very good.
This is a great fight right here.
yeah, look at that. Enzo, the Enzo spirit right there. And he was looking for destruction, getting that corner that hard. Jesus Christ, that's how you take a curve, for the love of Christ. You can see Howells looks very, very, very fast, and way faster than Mr. Moore, at least on the second sector. Let's see if on the third it's the same, and maybe he can finally get the move done. Oh my God. Mr. Wood.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's Steve. Steve has another stop and go. Yeah, it's just one after the other now, isn't it? He's just. I did this the other night, and it was. I thought it was kind of funny, but of course, in a race like this, it's not. But this is a really good little race here between Bruce Hopkins, Steve Howes, and Paul Moore. I mean, you just don't know who's going to take it, because each of them keep making tiny little errors, and because they're racing so hard. And a moment ago, you saw Steve Howes like in the middle of the corner. You could see he had plenty more speed than Paul Moore, but he really wants to get the exits of these corners better so that he can power out and go by on the straight. And being faster in the middle of the corner, if you're right on somebody's butt, it just doesn't help you, because you've got nowhere to go in the middle of that corner. Now he's coming down to that first chicane, and he's got the inside now, but he can't quite make it work. There's only one line. He's only got enough room for one corner, but there he is. He's got a better exit now. But he has the outside, which is not helpful going down to the Villeneuve chicane. See if he can make it stick. He's sending it, and no, he's gone completely over and lost the position. He's going to have to give that back, I think.
Yeah, you can see now. Oh, that's not the place to slow down. That is not the place to slow down in the middle of the corner. That was scary. But I'm going to have to cut you off. Oh, my God. Disqualification for Danny Hose.
Yeah.
That is not good to see. And I'm sorry, Mr. Hose, we're going to have to move into the front. Yeah, Melvin, we saw him retire. I don't know what happened to him. I really hope he is okay. But we're going to have to jump into the lead. Because look at Mark Christopher. He's putting fast lap after fast lap after fast lap. Already a second and a half between both of them. Maybe we're going to see a fight in this last 15 minutes of racing, Mr. Wood.
I think we are. He's 1.2 seconds behind. Not sure what happened. Maybe Laszlo made a mistake. Might have made a big error somewhere, but he lost a good chunk. He lost a good second and a half, 2 seconds to Mark Christopher. And now the battle between these two, it's just these two, because Mark Pocock is an additional 15 seconds behind Mark Christopher.
That is a lot of time. Nemeth with the fastest lap. 6:50. This time a little faster. You can see Nemeth, I think, is playing a little bit with Christopher's mind. He knows he can control the pace. He knows he's going to be the one defending. My God. Too bad I'm not in it, Mr. Halls. We are really sorry. We saw what happened. You did an incredible qualifying, and from there on, it all went downhill. So we, of course, we don't like that. But Nemeth now, you can see he's now getting the good times. You know, Mr. Christopher is getting too close, and he doesn't want any of it. We're going to go now.
Oh, he spun. Mark Christopher spun, coming out of the second chicane.
Yeah.
He hit that massive, he got totally launched basically over the sausage curb, and that was it. He just managed to avoid hitting the barrier though, so it's game on again, but that was a big error.
Yeah, now Nemeth is going to be even more calmed down. Now he can control the pace again, not push as much, and let the tires roll without any issues. And, well, Bogart still a long way behind. Ay, Britos. El Messi de la pista de nuevo fuera, desafortunadamente para Daniel. Le mandamos un saludo. I need to talk to him a little bit in Spanish. He loves it. Howells and more. Finally, Howells. He's going to make them up on the inside on turn 4. That was beautiful from the Ferrari driver. You can see he's even weaving a little bit. You can see this man is playing around. He knows when to leave the space and when not to. That is a very good exit as well. And now it's Hopkins, the one who can take advantage of the situation. We're going to go now with Mr. Terry Howard. There you have him. The Porsche with a great comeback drive. He started P13 now, P7.
Yeah, and he's not very far behind Lee Ellis as well, I don't think.
Yeah, second and a half between both of them. Let's see if Mr. Howard can make it happen, because for now it's looking real good. Let's get a little bit of an insider's view on his cockpit, right into his helmet, because of course, ladies and gentlemen, our GT3 regulations ask for a mandatory camera inside the helmet so you can get a view of how the drivers feel when they're on track. And look at that Porsche. Mr. Howard giving his best. Great drive so far. I'm not going to say too much else, because then we're going to get a little bit of commentary scores. So we're going to move with Mr. Bruce Hopkins, who's really getting close now to pull more. Howell's already flying out of this pack of two. And it's looking very interesting. Columba, really slow. So this chicane nearly went into the wall. Hopkins now very close as well.
Yeah, he's got a good run. Is he going to dive inside? Yeah. No. And Bruce Hopkins is another one of these guys that I drive with quite often in the evenings. Great guy. Like, just super polite and super helpful. And it's just really good to see him having like a good fun race and having a good dice here.
Definitely. This is the only fight we have on track at the moment. The rest of the gentlemen, as you're going to see in the track map, they are really far away from each other, at least more than 2 seconds. So no overtaking maneuvers at sight, just this one. Christopher's already 9 seconds behind Nemeth. Nemeth has this on the pocket, 10 minutes remaining. Hopkins is going to try the inside. He's not. He's going to keep it safe. But, ooh, that looks like a very good entry. The X is not a good. That's going to be as good. SSRI Wigan is currently driving P12. Very good. nice to see that the eSeniors team is doing fantastically well. P12 in a 12-hour is absolutely amazing, Mr. Wood, and we wish the team the best, of course, because it's a good representation of what we can do. You know, we might be old, but we have our souls fighting for the win. Damn right.
I'm glad you say we, even though you're just a kid.
I wish I was. Oh, you. But with a little bit of a mistake, he's gonna eat it out.
Come on, send it, mate.
No, he's not.
Oh, Bruce, he's not sending it. No, he really doesn't want to poke his nose in there. He's worried that it's going to be bitten off by the Audi. I can't really blame him, but I mean, that was a really, really good opportunity right there. He could have just sent it.
Yeah. For sure, Moore would have backed down. We've seen him last time when he was fighting with Howells. He backed out. He didn't want any of the trouble. I think Hopkins could have made the move happen. But he kept it safe, so hey, good decision, Jeremy Arroas. I'm sure he's applauding on his bed, the poor man. We wish him the best. But I'm sure he's happy that this is being a little safer. Jonathan, tires. Yes, the tires are starting to come into play. Still 9 minutes remaining. That's a good exit from Hopkins again. Is it going to be enough? Ay, La France. The cameraman doesn't want to help. Oh my God, that is not a place to reach it. Oh, nearly looked like we're going to check that on a replay. Because that could have cost Christopher everything, huh?
Oh, that could have cost him everything, absolutely.
We're checking the replay right now. La France losing the car here on the right-hander. Entering the third sector. Oh my God, this really reminded me of when Pocock had the incident with the hardware. And here, look at, you can see right now, gentlemen. You can see how close.
Yeah.
The incident came.
Oh, and there goes Paul, went over the chicane and was bumping all over the place, which has given Bruce the inside line for the Villeneuve chicane, but he doesn't want to go for it. But it's okay because Paul has just gone straight over the chicane, so now he's inside finally, and he's got past, and he's going to drive away.
That's how you play it. Don't play for the move, play for the pressure. There you have it.
There you go.
Man, it's been amazing so far here. A whole hour racing. I want more of this. And, you know, now everything seems to have calmed down. Mr. Wood, what are you looking forward for the next season? Because we're getting close to it.
For the next season, I haven't even thought about it yet, mate. Oh, no, Bruce has gone off on the last chicane. But I think he's going to be okay. I guess the question is he going to get a track penalty for that one? But he looks like he's recovered. But I mean, next season, I'm not even thinking about next season yet, mate. I mean, we're not finished with this one yet. So I think my question is number 33 has a drive-through. That's Jaime Goddard, who's currently in P17. But I mean, my question is what's going to happen tomorrow in the Group 1 race? So, you know, everyone is a little bit slower. Today, the pole position, Danny got the pole in a 29.5, which I thought was absolutely outstanding, especially that it was in the McLaren of all cars, which, you know, isn't particularly well rated. So where are we going to be tomorrow? You know, what kind of lap time are we looking at? So I'm going to ask somebody in the chat. Let's ask Chris Bourne. So Chris, you know, what kind of lap time do you think is going to take the pole position tomorrow in Group 1, mate?
You think we're going to get into the 28s? I don't think we're going to get into the 27s, to be honest with you, right?
We'll definitely get into the 28s. I'm not sure about the 27s based on, you know, what everyone was doing before the update. I believe they were close in the 27s, but, you know, the update has really messed everything up. So who knows? I'm going to race in the BMW. We'll see if anybody else shows up in the Beamer. It's going to be interesting. So Chris says 28s, definitely possible 27s. So yeah, that makes sense. I guess we shall have to see.
I think tomorrow the endurance
Nikos says he thinks that tomorrow the endurance team will skip the race as they've had enough this weekend. Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't think that Carlo and Peter are going to skip the race tomorrow. I think they're going to be racing with the rest of us. But they might just be. I don't know. It could go either way, couldn't it? They might be just absolutely on it because they've been racing so much, and it's just like they'll be on automatic pilot, or they might just be tired of it and not be as competitive as normal. My money is on them being 100% competitive. To be fair.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If they do that, I'm sorry for saying the word. They are crazy. If they actually go and race here after a 24-hour bout, I can't say anything else, my friend. Goddard.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mistake. Yeah, that would be crazy, man. I can tell you, I did 16 hours myself on a 24-hour race last month, and yeah, I took a week. I took a week off for myself because it's a little too much, my friends.
Hey, 45 minutes is too much for me, so there you go.
Hey,
Chris says he's asked them to rest. I wonder why that is. Chris, I think you should take a rest from the podium party personally.
I agree. Yes, you should do what is it called? A no quality challenge. There you have it.
And here's Bruce is trying to go inside of Steve Howells in turn 1. He's got the inside. Steve has overdone it, and there he goes. He's past Steve. So Bruce managed to get by Paul Moore and Steve Howells. And now he's going to go after Richard Colomb.
Yeah, but their gap is very, very big. 19 seconds of a gap. All of the gaps on track except this fight are massive. You can see here in the track map. It's just huge. So everything has calmed down unless we get personal mistakes from the drivers. Nothing is changing. And Nemeth, we're going to go with him right now because this man deserves some. Oh my God, just as I talk about it, the car was flying for a whole second. I don't know how in the blue hell did he keep the car alive. My God. I want to see a replay of this. Good.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was crazy.
What a save. Oh my God, we need to check this again because speechless. Absolutely.
That was blind luck. That was blind luck.
Oh my God. Wow. No words. What? I don't even know what to say right now, Mr. Wood. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, that if that doesn't give you a puncture, I don't know what does.
Yeah,
he must be running those, run flats or something.
Yeah, I don't have words. You can see, I don't even have words anymore. Howell's getting closer to Hopkins again.
That's right. It was the General Lee.
The General Lee. That's lovely to see. The only final track, as we said, is this one. I do want to check on Laszlo again, because he's just behind these gentlemen, and I think this is going to be the penultimate lap for the race. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here with us. We are 26 people. Please give a like to the stream and follow us on YouTube, and of course support our main sponsor, PWS Cleaning Equipment. Our representative here is going to be Mr. Mark Christopher. There you have that lovely livery. If you want the best cleaning equipment, ask for the Britons, because they have the best. Preciouswashers.co.uk. There you have them. Got them right there. And I can tell you they're top-notch quality. So go on the website and support our sponsor. We thank them highly for supporting the eSeniors GT3 World Championship. We have 1 minute remaining. Nemeth is going to cross the finish line. So this is the last lap of the race. Mr. Wood, you said it. It seems like it's going to happen. I don't even know how those tires start alive. This is it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't had any punctures. So, everyone's stayed on track. And Laszlo has just kept that lead going, and it's now 12 seconds. So remember, after the pit stops it was only a second, so he's really pulled it out. So a very, very well deserved win from him, and our pole sitter, I mean, the pole sitter today and the pole sitter yesterday, they both succumbed to the same thing. They really did. They were pretty much at the back of the grid by half distance for a variety of different reasons. So it just goes to show pole position does not mean everything.
Yeah, it is important in like track like this, but as you said at the end, if things like these happen, you don't stand a chance. The white flag is gonna come out, and this man deserves to see it first. Mr. Nemeth, the Dutchman. Look at him go. What an incredible performance for the last hour. He is gonna get this victory unless he makes a big mistake on this last turn. He's gonna take it safely, of course, because this has us on the pocket. Here we go. Nemeth is gonna take that victory here at Zolder. There you see him weaving around. Well deserved. This man deserves the driver of the day. It has been fantastic. Just behind, there you have Mark Christopher. He's going to get a very good P2. It's going to help him massively on the championship. And there you have Mark Pocock, who just going to cross the finish line in just a few seconds. Mr. Wood, it has been a pleasure to be here with you, and it has been a fantastic race.
That sure has, mate. Good to be here with you, and hopefully the same, more of the same next week.
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave you with the timetable so you can see the results. And, of course, we hope you stay safe. We will see you tomorrow on the Group 1. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, all.